Throughout time, we have witnessed the deaths of many iconic celebrities whose names will never be forgotten. Through today's memorial service, we will learn about what happened on the fateful day that Gianni Versace was killed, who his killer was, and the legacy that he left behind. Gianni Versace was a well-known Italian fashion designer who lived life to the fullest and was not ashamed of who he was. Even in death, we can see the impact that he had on fashion and society. On July 15, 1997, Gianni Versace left his mansion in South Beach, Miami, for what he thought was going to be like any other day. He made some phone calls to Milan, ate some breakfast, and then decided to go out on the town. He grabbed a coffee and stopped for a copy of The New Yorker and Vogue. He socialized with friends and chatted with other patrons of South Beach. According to townandcountrymagazine.com, he was known as the unofficial mayor of the gay community among those who lived there. However, little did he know that as he walked back home, his killer was watching him from the street as he unlocked the front gate to his house. His killer, wearing a baseball cap and a gray tank top, then walked up behind the man and shot him twice in the head. Versace never saw it coming. Then, his killer simply turned around and walked away. The killer was on the loose. While police frantically searched South Beach for this unknown man, Gianni's brother and sister, Donatella and Santo, flew in from Milan to claim his body. He was taken back to his birth country of Italy and given a large and beautiful funeral service at Milan's 14th century cathedral. It was attended by his family, his boyfriend Antonio D'Amico, and various grieving celebrities, including Anna Wintour, Elton John, and even Princess Diana, who was his most famous client. While many flew to Italy to attend this service, others were frantic back in Florida. By now, police had narrowed down their search to one man, Andrew Cunanan. They blocked off exits to South Beach, keeping suspicious people in and out. Meanwhile, Cunanan had broken into a vacant houseboat where he stayed until police found him, dead by the same gun that was used to kill Versace. So you may be wondering who this infamous serial killer even is. Andrew Philip Cunanan was an Italian-American who lived life in a complete lie. As he traveled across the US, convincing people that he was someone of high status, he also developed an unhealthy lifestyle full of sex, drugs, and murder. He was also obsessed with being the center of attention, which is probably what drove him to killing in the first place. Only living to be 27, he is known to have killed 5 people in a 3-month period. His victims include his best friend, Jeffrey Trail, David Madsen, the person he claimed to be the love of his life, Lee Miglin, a well-known real estate developer, William Reese, who was killed only for his car, and perhaps the most well-known victim, Gianni Versace. Because of the way he would befriend people, he would use older men for their money. One of the people he is suspected to have taken advantage of was Lee Miglin, who was later brutally murdered by Andrew Cunanan. However, Miglin's family still denies to this day that he was gay or that he had any involvement with Cunanan outside of the murder. Because he was able to convince people that he lived such a lavish lifestyle, this is how he claimed to have met Gianni Versace, the well-known fashion designer. Cunanan then developed an obsession with Versace and his work, but never said what really drove him to killing the fashion icon. However, as Vanity Fair pointed out, it was most likely because he wanted to be at the center of worldwide attention. Cunanan wanted to be at the center of attention, but after spending a few days in the news, his name was forgotten, as Versace's death truly set in for the people, which is what Cunanan deserved for killing all of these innocent lives. Even before his death, Gianni Versace made a huge impact on fashion. His work created a rise of supermodels, and in the music video for the song Freedom 90 by George Michael, 4 of the most high-status models appeared, and not soon after, were seen strutting down the runway, lip-syncing to the song, wearing clothing designed by Versace himself. Versace brought the glitter and glamour to fashion, even bringing celebrities into the field and giving them front-row seats to shows. On top of all of this, Versace's designs were full of vibrant colors and patterns, which brought a completely different vibe to fashion at the time. Here are a few examples. According to crfashionbook.com, Versace was also very close to his family, which gave him a down-to-earth appeal. His sister, Donatella, helped him design some of the clothing, and his brother, Santo, helped him run the business. Not only did Versace strive for greatness in every aspect of his life, but he was also an advocate for the gay community. The LGBTQ society looked up to him greatly for his work and admired his advocacy. However, this is a bit of a sore spot in the investigation of Andrew Cunanan. Many point out the fact that Cunanan was not caught earlier simply because he targeted gay men. To law enforcement, the cultural stigma and the deeply embedded homophobia prevented them from not getting the resources and also not wanting to find this man. While he was eventually put on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list, the sad fact is that Versace's murder might have been the only way Cunanan was caught sooner, and he could have continued his mass killing of LGBTQ people for much longer. If Versace was still alive today, he would have been 74 years old. He had already accomplished so much, and it does make me wonder what else he could have done to change fashion. Through today's memorial service, we learned about what happened on that fateful day, who his killer was, and the legacy that Gianni Versace left behind. Today, we should mourn for not only the LGBTQ victims of Andrew Cunanan, but realize that crimes like this are still happening across the world. Gianni Versace was not ashamed of who he was, which pushed him to become one of the world's greatest fashion icons, even in death. Thank you for attending today's memorial.